The last 5 minutes of your day are writing the script for the next 24 hours of your life. And chances are, you're letting random static fill the page. That hazy, drifting sensation just before you fall asleep feels like your mind powering down. The opposite is happening. You're sliding into a state of profound suggestibility, where the blueprints of your reality are drawn. And by the end of this, you will understand the mechanics of this window so precisely, you'll see how you've been accidentally programming the very frustrations you want to escape every single night. You know the feeling. Your body is heavy. The day-sharp thoughts begin to blur, replaced by dreamlike, disconnected images. You're conscious, but only just what you're experiencing is a measurable physical shift in your brain's electrical activity. All day long, while you're focused, worried, or solving problems, your brain operates primarily in a beta brainwave state. This is the frequency of alertness, of logic, of the critical mind that analyzes everything. It's the guard at the gate. But as you relax and your thoughts begin to drift, your brain slows down. It transitions from beta into alpha waves. This is the state of light relaxation, of daydreaming. It feels good. It's the first sign the guard is getting sleepy. Then, you sink deeper, into that perfect space between awake and asleep. This is the hypnagogic state. And here your brain shifts into theta waves. This is the frequency of deep meditation, of REM sleep, of hypnosis. It's the brain state of a child before the age of 7. Logic is gone. Analysis is gone. The critical guard isn't just sleepy anymore. He's left his post entirely. For a few precious minutes, the gate to your subconscious mind is wide open. But why is an open gate so profoundly important? What exactly is it protecting you from all day? The conscious mind, operating in that beta state, acts as a filter. It constantly judges incoming information against your existing beliefs and experiences. If someone tells you that you can run a 4-minute mile, your conscious mind immediately objects. It pulls up your past performance, your current fitness level, and the physical limitations it knows. It says, "No, that's impossible for me." This filter is useful. It keeps you grounded in a consistent reality, but it also fiercely protects your limitations. It's the very mechanism that keeps you stuck in who you believe you are right now. Every attempt at change, every new resolution, has to fight its way past this skeptical gatekeeper, and it usually loses. In the theta state, that gatekeeper is offline. There is no filter, there is no argument. Statements aren't analyzed for truth, they are simply accepted as input. This is why childhood is so formative. A young child's brain operates predominantly in theta. They don't have a critical filter yet. What they are told, what they experience, what they feel, it all goes straight in. It becomes the bedrock of their belief system. For a few minutes every night, you return to that state of childlike neural plasticity. You have direct access to the operating system, with no firewall to block you. The question is, if there is no filter between your thoughts and your deepest programming, what thoughts are you letting drift through that unguarded gate every night? This window of time is also when your brain is deciding which of today's experiences are worth keeping. It's called memory consolidation. Throughout the day, you accumulate countless experiences. Your brain doesn't have the capacity to store all of them with equal weight. So during rest, particularly in these transitional sleep states, it runs a sorting process. It tags experiences with emotional significance and decides what gets filed into long-term memory and what gets discarded. The stronger the feeling associated with a thought or event, the higher its priority for storage. The experiences you replay in your mind, especially those soaked in feelings of frustration, worry, or resentment, get a VIP pass into your long-term memory. They are stamped as important. They are marked as relevant to your survival. By replaying an argument, a mistake at work, or a financial worry as you drift off to sleep, you are essentially telling your brain, this is important, prioritize this. Make sure I remember the feeling of this failure. You are instructing the librarian of your mind to place that book on the front shelf, where you'll be sure to find it tomorrow. The mechanism is completely neutral, it just follows instructions. It consolidates what is held in mind with the strongest feeling, and this is where we can intervene. Because this system can be directed, but it requires a language that the gatekeeper might not understand, but the subconscious speaks fluently. The subconscious mind does not think in logical, structured sentences. Its native language is feeling. It communicates through symbols, images, and raw emotion. Trying to program your subconscious with complex analytical affirmations is like trying to give a dog a written command. The message gets lost. An affirmation like, "I will achieve my financial goals through diligent work and strategic planning," is a beta wave thought. The critical mind created it. The subconscious mind barely registers it. The feeling of relief, however, the feeling of security, the feeling of freedom, that is a language it understands perfectly. When you hold the feeling of your wish already fulfilled, you are communicating directly with the operating system in its native tongue. Imagine you're trying to resolve a complex engineering problem. You could lie in bed listing all the logical steps you've already tried, or you could simply imagine the feeling of the solution already being discovered, the surge of relief, the quiet satisfaction, the image of the finished working design. This shift from thinking about the problem to feeling the solution is the key. Many of the most creative minds in history understood this intuitively. They developed strange rituals to hover in this suggestible state for as long as possible, using it as a direct line to a deeper intelligence. They knew how to hold the door open just long enough. Thomas Edison, for example, would nap in a chair while holding a steel ball in each hand. Below his hands, on the floor, he placed metal pie plates. As he drifted into the hypnagogic state, his muscles would relax, his hands would open, and the steel balls would drop onto the plates with a crash. The noise would jolt him awake, just enough to capture the dreamlike ideas and solutions that surfaced from his subconscious. He called them messages from somewhere else. The surrealist painter Salvador Dali used a similar technique, which he called slumber with a key. He would sit in a chair, holding a heavy key between his thumb and forefinger, with a plate upside down on the floor beneath it. The moment he fell asleep, the key would drop, clatter on the plate, and wake him. He claimed that the surreal images he captured in that fleeting moment became the heart of his greatest paintings. These were not accidents. They were systems designed to harvest the output of a mind operating in Theta. They were hacking their own consciousness. And the tool they were using is available to you every single night without any special equipment. The technique itself is brutally simple in its design, yet requires a subtle kind of focus. As you lie in bed, ready for sleep, you must first bring your attention away from the scattered worries of the day. Feel the weight of your body on the mattress. Notice the rhythm of your breath. Let the tension drain from your muscles. The goal is to consciously induce the alpha state of relaxation. Once you feel that calm, that first sign of mental drift, you introduce a single simple scene or feeling. This is the crucial part. You do not visualize the long, complicated process of getting what you want. You visualize a single moment after it's already happened. If you want a new job, you don't visualize sending resumes and going to interviews. You feel the handshake after accepting the offer. You hear a friend's voice congratulating you. You feel the quiet satisfaction of sitting at your new desk on the first day. The scene should be short, vivid, and soaked in the positive emotion of fulfillment. Pick one scene and loop it. Gently, like a lullaby, you are creating a sensory impression of a reality that already exists. Each time your mind wanders back to the day's worries, you gently guide it back to your scene. You are holding a single emotionally charged idea in your awareness as your brainwaves slow from beta through alpha and into the suggestible realm of theta. You are handing the librarian one specific book, soaked in the feeling of success, just before the library closes for the night. You are making it the last entry in the ledger. But this process is incredibly delicate. There are ways to sabotage it without even realizing it. The most common failure is trying too hard. This is not about forceful concentration. Force, effort, and strain are all characteristics of the beta brainwave state. They are the signature of the critical mind. The moment you try to force the visualization, you switch the analytical brain back on. You wake the gatekeeper. And the gate closes. The key is a passive, gentle attention. Imagine you're trying to remember a forgotten name. The harder you search for it, the further it recedes. It's only when you relax and let go that the name pops into your head. This process is the same. You must hold your intention lightly. You cradle it, you don't squeeze it. Another failure is the feeling of lack. If you are visualizing success, but your underlying feeling is one of desperate wanting, you are sending a mixed signal. The subconscious mind takes the dominant feeling as the instruction. The feeling of wanting only reinforces the reality of not having. You are programming the experience of lack. This is why the instruction is to feel as if it has already happened. You're aiming for the calm, peaceful feeling of gratitude and satisfaction that comes after the victory, not the anxious striving that comes before it. This requires you to suspend disbelief for a few minutes, to give yourself permission to feel good, even if your external reality hasn't caught up yet. You're rehearsing the feeling of the destination, and if you do this night after night, something more profound begins to happen than just attracting a specific goal. You start to rewrite your own identity. Your sense of self, your identity, is essentially a collection of deeply held subconscious beliefs. I am the kind of person who is always anxious. I am not good with money. I am unlucky in relationships. These are not facts. They are conclusions, programmed over years, often through the very mechanism we're discussing. They are the result of thousands of nights spent marinating in worry and rehearsing failure as you fell asleep. They feel true because they've been consolidated into your memory as core truths. This process simply runs that system in reverse. When you consistently fall asleep feeling the emotions of security, capability, and love, you are casting a vote for a new identity. Each night is another vote. You are providing your subconscious with new evidence. You're telling it, this feeling of confidence is also me. This feeling of abundance is also me. At first, the old programming will dominate, but with repetition, the new evidence begins to accumulate. The new neural pathways strengthen. Your brain, seeking consistency, will start to alter your daytime thoughts, perceptions, and actions to align with the new dominant feeling you've been programming. You'll find yourself making different choices, noticing different opportunities, and reacting in new ways. This change will feel like it's happening automatically. It will feel natural. That's because it is. You're not fighting against your programming anymore. You are rewriting it at the root. You are living today in the reality that was imprinted during last year's drowsy moments. The assumptions, the limitations, the default emotional states, they are the harvest of seeds planted in that fertile ground between wakefulness and sleep. The process is always running. It has been running every night of your life. It built the cage you currently inhabit. The only choice is whether to let the random anxieties of the day continue to draw the blueprint or to consciously pick up the pen yourself. Every night offers a clean slate, a quiet moment where the gatekeeper is gone and the architect is listening. The question it asks is simple. What reality shall we build tonight?